okay, let's talk about the Leafs. They lose game 1, 5-1. They don't have William Nylander in the lineup. And I thought it was interesting, Frankie, to hear the players talk about exactly what they were missing on Saturday night.
I mean, he's a huge part of our team. A guy who can put the puck in the net, guy who can break out the puck by himself. He can carry the play. Does a little bit of everything. You need those guys on the ice, and especially in the playoffs. So yeah, he was missed. Almost the Hakuna Matata kind of motto. You got to. You can't be worried about what happened in the past. You just got to look forward, and I think that's what this group's going to do.
Has William been able to skate since you guys have been here?
No updates on Willie.
How is he holding up, Sheldon? Like, obviously, I'm not sure how much you've talked to him, but it's got to be pretty tough. You play the whole year and you're out. What's your sense of how he's dealing with this?
No updates on Willie.
Will you go back to Samsonov tomorrow?
No updates on goaltending.
Tight-lipped. Even the great Mark Masters couldn't get anything out of him.
When Masters can't get it out of you, it's not just that. He's just Keefe's just there so he won't get fined.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So let's say Nylander can't play game 2. Do you reunite Matthews and Marner, or do you need the depth that Nylander would bring to that forward group in order to be able to do that?
You have to at least think about it, right? Like Matthews and Marner, we know it works, and the Leafs need to find a way to get Marner going. Like that second line with Tavares and Marner felt like a no-show at 5-on-5. That can't be the case. And Matthews hits a post, and I thought Matthews had a pretty good game, but ultimately it's not enough because when you watch that game back, it's not one thing that cost the Leafs that game. It was Samsonov wasn't good enough. It was the third line had a hard time getting out of their own zone. The penalty kill wasn't very good. Like, there are so many things that happened throughout that game that, you can't just say, we're going to put Marner and Matthews together, and that's going to help us win the game. Of course it will, but then I think you start to wonder, okay, if you have to move Domi down to the second line, do you lose that matchup even more than you did in the previous game? But maybe you gain it with the first line being overwhelming. Like, those are the things that you kind of have to wrestle with. But not having Nylander makes you have those conversations, because normally you would say, yeah, we're going to throw Marner and Matthews together, and we're going to have Nylander on the second line. And it's not the case right now. We'll see if Nylander can play, but you have to at least think about putting Marner and Matthews together, because what if it gets too far down the road and you're like, why didn't we do it sooner?
Yeah. And you're talking about tough coaching decisions that Sheldon Keefe has to make, and obviously the guys are asking him about, and that extends to Samsonov. Do you go back to Samsonov for game 2, try to restore his confidence, or are you already out on Samsonov and you move on?
No, I thought going into this series, you were going to give Samsonov a little bit of a leash, meaning, you give him a game. Let's say that game doesn't go very well. You got to give him one more, I think. If you give him that one more and you still don't like the results you get, then you probably have to go to Joseph Woll. I don't know, like the Leafs of all teams were not going to be a team in the playoffs that was a 1-goaltender team. It's just the reality. Like the Bruins have really good goaltending. They're going to be a 2-goaltender team. Like the Jets, they're going to be a 1-goaltender team. Tampa Bay, like all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, every year we see teams go through multiple goaltenders. And the thing that would be a little bit scary, I guess, is if you were to go to Joseph Woll, are you getting anything that's that much better? Like that's kind of the question that they'd have to ask themselves. But I would be going Samsonov at least one more game and give him an opportunity.